am the fifth member. When your daddy walks out on me.
I feel like we want to still have top billing on our tour.
I ain't opening up for no motherfucker. 30 million records, bitch.
Come on, Kandi. Let's talk about the latest episode of the SWV and Xscape, the Queen of R&B, right now. First scene, we have Miss Tasha, who is still in Tennessee because, you know, she was negotiating a deal with Motown Gospel, and she is meeting with Taj. Taj, who we saw on the previous episode, was talking with Tamika to be able to help her a little bit on the situation with Tasha, is asking Tasha,
Well, how can we work this out? Because it was very clear that something was wrong between you and your sister.
But Tasha is being very vague.
I felt like she body shamed me. It was like a lot of different things.
Body shamed you?
Yeah. It's a long story about me having a little butt in the group. Some things happened with her and my mom.
Tasha is not trying to tell her what's going on with her sister.
There's something more going on between you and your sister.
That's it.
I think she's probably thinking that she wants to keep it family or something like that. But hey, then Tasha reveals to Taj what she's been doing in Tennessee.
I had a meeting today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. For a record deal.
A solo deal?
Yeah. Yep. I plan on stepping out.
And we can see that Taj is looking at her like, this is big T for Taj. And a part of me is like, she's gonna go and tell the other ladies ASAP. Scene, we have Coco and her friends. She is saying that she really likes her friends because they don't care about her being a celebrity. So they're basically catching up. They're asking her how she is doing. And then in a confessional, Coco is telling her that she has been diagnosed with bipolar depression, and that really was not an easy situation to deal with. So I'm very happy that she was able to overcome that situation. Next, we learned that the ladies of SWV are going on another show. Those ladies stays booked and busy, okay? I am so impressed with them. Like, no joke, they're really still touring like crazy after all this year and making all this money. We see Taj, who's delayed. She got there late, and she said, well, she didn't make it late, but she made it right in time for them to go to the show. And she's saying that she's not the same. She is in her 50s, and honestly, this is taking a toll on her body. She cannot do the same thing that she used to do. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. It's really nice to see them still touring, still making money. It is really inspiring. Next, we have Tamika and her mom. Tamika's mom came to visit her after the big blowout that they had at her mom's house with Tasha. I'm happy to see that her mom actually came to visit her daughter. Tamika even cooked her mom's favorite meal. That was the cutest things to see. When they first see each other, we can see that they're both emotional. They come in and she's telling her mom that she's happy to see her. I love that for her. Her mom seems receptive. Initially was once again kind of doing the most. Seems like there's something that Tamika said about during the fight where she said that her mom is not the fifth member of Xscape, and her mom went on like a diatribe on how she is the fifth Xscape member.
I am the fifth member. When I first put that microphone in your hand, when I am the fifth member. When your daddy walks out on me and he didn't care whether we swim or sank.
As she is doing that, Tamika is giving us more background on why she believes the relationship with her mom is the way it is.
I think a lot of my mom's hurt comes from her and my father's divorce. I feel like I get beat up on because when my mom looks at me, she see my dad.
Part of me was like, wow, that's crazy. I've heard of stories like that before. And Tamika saying that this is what she thinks it is was like a wow moment for her. The mom is probably still bitter at the dad and the situation she was left on. And she's probably, you know, putting that remaining anger on Tamika, who happens to look like her dad and be very close to her dad. And a part of me, I was like, y'all need to go to therapy. This is not a way to live. Tamika is over 40 years old. She has her own children. At this age, her mother should just want to be enjoying being a grandmother instead of creating a wedge between both siblings. And Tamika apologized to her mom. She's telling her, you know, you said that I was disrespectful to you. I understand that. And for that, I apologize. Mom was really receptive to it. She took her in her arm. She told her how much she loved her.
Look at me. I love you more than anything.
I was very happy to see it, but a part of me was wondering if she didn't do all that for the camera. The question passed by my head because at that specific moment, Tamika's mom did not ask for the camera to not be there. I think that she does love her daughter, but I don't think things would be that easy. I am curious to know what a relationship with her mother is as of right now. I really had a lot of respect for Tamika for her saying that, because what she's saying is that her mental health is priority. I'm happy to see that her and her mom hugged it out, and her mom repetitively told her how much she loved her. But I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm not as naive as I used to be, and a part of me was like, is she doing it for the camera? Let me all know what you think in the comment about that scene. Next scene, we see Taj visiting Kandi. I love Taj energy. You can see that this is a very happy lady. She really emanates good vibes. She comes in, she wants to give hug to everybody. She's just really, really nice and charming. Like, she just want to give her a hug. Taj could not wait to tell Kandi about the tea. So she dropped that tea here.
Ran into someone you know.
Who?
Tasha. She was in Nashville.
Tasha who?
She was there meeting with Motown.
Kandi is like, history is repeating itself again. She's done that to us before, and she is doing it again. Kandi is pissed. And the way her and Taj are talking, it's like they're thinking that Tasha is probably not going to be part of the show that they're trying to do, but they want to move on. They want to get things done with or without Tasha. And I'm like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. Because at the end of the day, Kandi is about her money. The SWVs are about their money. They're all about their money. And if Tasha doesn't want to make money with them, that's on her. I think that what's bothering Kandi the most is that it's okay for her to go and have a solo career, but it shouldn't be at the detriment of what she's doing with Xscape. And Kandi is feeling like, oh, so that's why she's been nasty like that lately, because she's working on a solo career. And I cannot blame Kandi on that. So they're making plans. They're making plans that potentially would not include Tasha. And a part of me is like, Tasha, the water are muddy for you, girl. They're very muddy. Scene, we have Leelee and her son. She tells us that she has 2 children. One of them is her son. He's a 32-year-old rapper, and he is counting on her big time to be able to make it in the industry. But she's trying to tell him that he's going to have to pave his own way. And I understand why she's saying that, but a part of me feels like a little bit of nepotism does not hurt anybody. And I wish that these young gentlemen could enjoy from that. But the truth of the matter is that Leelee may not have those type of resources to help her son. I'm just being honest. From what I've heard, the music industry is cutthroat. Leelee tells us that whenever the SWV group ended, broke up, she went broke and she had to leave in her car sometime. And she had to go back to school and eventually was working as a normal citizen, even though she is part of a legendary group. And a part of me felt really sad because there's that one channel that I really love to watch. It's a French channel. And I'm going to drop his channel below because you can always put translation in English where it's specialized on the music industry. And a lot of those R&B singer from the 90s, the 2000s went broke. And one of the biggest for it was that they may not have had a good contract, initially. So the contract wasn't that good. They may not have had the knowledge, to be able to negotiate better contracts. So even though some of those groups, they sold millions and millions of dollars in like music and they were able to tour, they don't really have much money to show for it because they didn't have good deal. And some of those people may also, on top of that, not have been financially, equipped to deal with that much money. So because they may not know about investing and saving, some of them may have been living above their means and stuff like that. Whenever the money stopped coming, a lot of those R&B singer, or rapper went broke. So Leelee's story is not unheard of. She's explaining us that, she's giving us all the background, and she's basically telling her son that he's going to also work really hard to pave his own way. And a part of me wish that things were different. She also tells him that she wants to do, I think, an erotica book. And a part of me was like, I see her doing that. She has that little voice of her, See Leelee doing some erotica, maybe a nice audio book would go with it. Like, I can see that for her. I mean, she's telling her son that she's on her grind. She's really serious, about her career. And I'm like, I just want you to win. Next scene, we have Tasha and her husband, and Tasha is in the studio and she is singing a song. She's doing the ad-libs, and I'm not gonna lie, it is jamming. I'm loving what I'm hearing. Tasha is singing, she's feeling it, and then her husband entered the room like he is Muhammad Ali.
Everything, you're gonna make it. All right.
And he's really feeling himself, Then they talk, and he's asking her question that he already knows the answer of, because we did not forget on last week's episode how he tells her what to say. So we know they already rehearsed.
Text message from Kandi, she said that SWV is doing some type of rehearsal and she wants us all to come so we could talk about a show.
So are you going?
I don't know.
Tasha is feeling herself, y'all. She's feeling herself way too much. Let me tell you all something, y'all. I have nothing against people feeling themselves. I have nothing against people being a little bit delusional, but I'm not going to pass on money though. Tangible money though. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't made a dime yet in whatever you're doing. And the opportunity with Xscape is right here, landing at your feet, but you're acting brand new, like you don't know if you're gonna make it. Why can't you do both? Then the husband is talking about,
What you and Tamika is affecting you.
I know.
Does she want y'all to get back? I mean, it's obvious she don't, because she's accusing me. Once again, I forgive her, but I don't get it.
Chalet, what is there to forgive? Oh yeah, he wants to make it look like she is lying, but honestly, he ain't working for me. He ain't working for me. I believe that there is some truth to what Tamika is saying, and them going at it the way they are, they may think is the best way, but hey, I feel like I want Tamika to put up the receipts at this point. I just want her to put up the receipts so that they can stop saying that she's lying, because obviously something is going on. Her not suing them is a good thing, but at least what she should do, in my opinion, is pull up them receipt, because this is the only thing that's going to make them stop lying. Next, we have Coco and her son. We see her son singing, and he has that beautiful voice, and curious about that music career. He don't want to be a dentist no more, and he's telling it to his mom, and his mom is like, no, I want you to go to school. I didn't go to school, your brother didn't go to school, somebody got to go to school, and it's going to be you. But he's like, that's not what I want to do now. He wants to be in the music industry, and his mom is not really for it. How do I feel about it? I understand, Coco. The music industry is hard. This is a hard career to go into. But at the same time, this boy is really talented. He really is. She tells him that she wants him to have an education. And once again, I'm like, why can't he do both? And I'm not going to lie. Maybe he's not going to be a dentist, right? But him having an education is just a plan B, just in case that music career does not work. Call the grandma and see what she says, because she feels like her mom is not going to be for it. So he's like, okay, let's do it. He ready. He ready. He calls his grandma, very sure of himself. And then his grandma is like, And when she says that, he started crying. The mom, Coco, is like telling him not to cry. And then the grandma, being a grandma, is like, well, what about you take a year and you do it, and then if it doesn't work, you end it there. But the thing is that for most people, it takes more than a year to make it in the music industry. Coco is pissed, you know, and then when the grandma said what he wanted to hear, you know, he dries his little tears, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I even felt bad for him. Coco is pissed because her mom didn't back her up the way she wanted her to back her up, you know? And she's saying, when I was in your shoe, she did the most with me. She really didn't want me to have a music career. And I already had a music career going on, and my mom was against it. So I don't understand why she's different with you. And I'm like, because she's his grandma, and grandma act different with their children than with their grandchildren. Period. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Next scene, we have the ladies of SWV and Xscape meeting together. The SWV ladies are rehearsing for yet another show because those ladies are on the road. And then we see Kandi and Tiny talking. We can see that Tiny is not really happy because Kandi already dropped the tea to her. She told her that Tasha signed a solo career, a solo deal. So Tiny is angry about it, and she is explaining in a confessional why she's not happy about the situation.
We didn't know anything about it. We just kept getting a resistance from her to where every time we try to sit down and have a meeting, she's either walking out or she has nothing to say.
I understand them. I really do. And I agree that it's not fair. The truth is that I would have felt differently if I would see Tasha at least trying to still be a willing participant in the Xscape group. But it is true that for Tasha, it is clear that it's my solo career and I'm done with Xscape, or I'm not sure about Xscape, when she could really do both. So it's annoying to see, and I understand why the other ladies are feeling the way that they feel. When they're all there, Taj is telling them what the vision is and everything, and she's saying, we are all in, and everybody's putting their hand but Tasha. And I'm like, Chalet! And everybody's like, you know, again, she's coming in and being difficult. And she's putting her hands, you know, she's like, okay, you know, I love y'all, you know, I love y'all. And I'm like, child. Now that they're all in, the SWV manager is saying, we don't have much time. So if we do come up with this show, it's going to have to be in a month and everything. And that's when Kandi dropped a bomb. Kandi is saying that we want a headline, you know, we want a headline, and that's when things go wrong because SWV ladies are like, headline, what do you mean? And Kandi is like, yeah, we want a headline. We usually headline all of our shows. And then Tasha is like, yes, since y'all came back, y'all have been, you know, headlining all of the shows. So then in their confessional, they're explaining things, and they all are in accordance. Tiny is saying that she feels that they need to headline because Kandi and her have millions of followers that they introduced to Xscape, and because of, you know, them being such social media personalities, people want to have more interest in Xscape, which is true. But Tash said this here.
90s, Xscape never headlined. Coming back 15 years later, whenever they came back, and Kandi and Tiny have this whole reality television. That is the reason Xscape is able to headline.
I'm more on the SW lady side on this one. This is one show where it's about the Queens of R&B celebrating both group career. In the previous, I think it was on the first episode, Tamika was giving ideas on how she wanted them to basically sometimes sing certain songs together, coming together. Like the show was really going to be a meddling of, you know, both groups together. Not like they perform, I perform, they perform, I perform. They were saying we all want to come, we want to come with something innovative, and they really wanted it to be a collaborative effort. So why not being it co-headlining? Understand where Kandi was coming from, you know, and I also feel like this was not the right time. I understand that, and Tiny did say that it wasn't the right time.
Kind of left, you know what I'm saying, because it was not a proper way to, I guess, bring it out at the time.
I understand that Kandi felt like, well, since we only have a month, we need to talk about the money, because we all know that Kandi is about money. But at the same time, I feel like the way you've been presenting it from the first, you know, episode, it seemed more like it was going to be a co-headlining show celebrating both groups. Granted, it was only ideas, but it seemed very collaborative. So I don't understand why for one show they cannot co-headline. But Kandi also, she's a businesswoman, right? So a part of me understand her, like, let me tell them what I want, and then we can go from there, right? I don't think that Kandi saying that Xscape ladies to headline means that like it's like set in stone. She's just saying what she wants, and I think that it is okay to say what you want. But if they do end up having that one, you know, legendary night, I think it would be fair that they co-headline. Let me all know what you think in the comments, y'all. So the ladies of the SWV are pissed.
Is a headache.
I ain't doing that. I ain't opening up for no motherfucking body. I sold 30 million records, bitch.
Happy, Taj is disappointed. Conversation all going on, and it ends there. So that was it, y'all, for my review of episode, I think it's what, episode 4. I thought this was great, y'all. I wish we could have more. I think it's just going to be like 6 or 8 episodes, and I'm like, it's almost over. This is great. I'm having such a great time reviewing the show. And for those of you that are new, hey, welcome, and I invite you to, you know. And for those of you that have been here with me, subscribe to me, commenting, the new people here, I'm so happy to have you here. And I will see you all next week for another episode review. Bye.